We're going to try to explain it. It is a bizarre stat. It really is. But, sometimes you look at things in their statistical anomalies, but this has been his pattern for his entire time here in Cleveland. It's odd. We can't explain it. We're going to do our best to try. All right, I think you could say that there will only be one football game this year bigger for the Cleveland Browns, and that's considering if they're still in contention in Week 17, Week 18, when they play the Bengals the last game of the year. Baltimore comes in 7-2. Browns come in 5-3. The Browns win. Their chances of making the playoffs are better than 70%. They lose. Those chances go down to below 50%. That's how big this game is. Against Arizona, Deshaun was just okay. Had a bad half, had a pretty good half. Will middle of the road or average be good enough on Sunday to beat a Ravens team that is 7-2?
I thought he average to slightly above average will be good enough if the defense plays up to its best, right?
Better than they did against the Ravens.
Which they didn't do the first time they played the Ravens. Now, the Browns' offense in that game, the quarterback play in that game was not even close to average. It was horrendous. I don't think Deshaun Watson has to play an elite game for the Browns to win. But, Captain Obvious, he can't turn the ball over. If he turns the ball over, it's big trouble for the Browns. If he plays a game somewhat equivalent to what he did last week, maybe less, like he was really bad in the first half and pretty good in the second. It's a little more in the middle for the whole thing. I think they can still win that way, but obviously it'll be up to the defense to play great.
Listen, Boo, there's a lot of people out there today that don't want to hear that. They're not trying to hear that right now. You got Deshaun Watson for games like this. It is Lamar Jackson versus Deshaun Watson. He can't come out here and play regular and 210 and a touchdown and expect to be the team that people think probably have the top MVP choice on the road in Baltimore with probably 1 or 1A, the best defense in the league. The same way Lamar Jackson, you count on him to make 3 or 4 special plays to get you over the top. They're going to have to start at some point in time looking at Deshaun Watson and say, give me 3 or 4 special plays to keep us in these types of football games. And I'm telling you what, he has 3 throws that showed you he was special last week against the Cardinals. He needs to do that and be consistent with it. He needs consistent throws, Jay, in order for them to win this football game.
This is a different weight class, let's face it, than where they played last week. The Arizona Cardinals are one of the worst teams in the league. The Baltimore Ravens are one of the best teams in the league. So the short answer to this question is no. The way he played last week will not be enough. Now, granted, if the defense plays one of their best games like they did against the Cardinals, then I think that 2 halves like he had in the second half might be enough. He can't have a bad half against the Ravens and still win.
No.
He's got to be Deshaun Watson from Houston. One thing I want to point out, his last 2 complete games have been his best games in a Cleveland Browns uniform.
Yep.
That's great news for us, guys.
Yeah.
He's trending in the right direction. He needs to continue that if they want to get the win.
But those weren't great games. He didn't play great in either of those games.
Listen, I'm not calling him great. I'm just saying it's the best he's played for us.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, obviously in the long term, we didn't trade for Deshaun Watson, give up all the draft capital,
to be mid.
save all the money to be mid.
No.
But in this particular game, could they still win if the defense plays great and he's mid? I think they could. I'm hoping that they don't need to win that way. But right now, there's not a ton of confidence that he can play at a great level.
Yeah, we disagree on that. I just think he's got to be really, really good on Sunday if the Browns are going to win. I want him to be the reason they win. He really hasn't been that yet.
No, he hasn't.
And I want to see a game where they can say, well, they won this game because of Deshaun Watson. That's why they brought him here.
But I agreed. We'd all want to see that. And yes, obviously, the better he plays, the better chance they have. I just don't think he has to play great for them to win.
Now, obviously, the way he plays is going to have a lot to do with the Browns' offensive line. That's bad news right now because their offensive line is a mess. Obviously, Conklin hurt early, done for the season. Jed Wills now on IR. He's not available for at least the next 4 weeks, maybe longer. The other concerning thing is you've got a guy named Jaron Christian. Don't ask me about him. I can't tell you anything about him. He is at left tackle. James Hudson didn't practice today. And
DeJuan Jones.
Yeah, I'm sorry. DeJuan Jones didn't practice today, which is a bad sign. DeJuan Jones had a great rookie season. He's held things down at on the right side. That means we could have James Hudson who we know has not been great, and Jaron Christian, who we know nothing about, on the line.
I had not even heard of Jaron Christian yesterday. However, he's actually played a lot in the league. He's started, I want to say, about 12, 15 games
16
in the NFL.
games.
Wow.
What's that, Mike?
16 games.
So a full
16
season.
games. So he's played a lot.
What's his PFF? I'm sure you looked.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't played this year.
No, I know, but I'm talking about in the games that he's
I
played.
didn't look at that. I'm just saying, I was just looking to see if he had played it all. And he had been with the Chiefs and one or two other teams. So he's been around. He's not a kid. He's like 27 years old. He was there you go, third-round pick in 2018. So at least he has some experience. And he played, he started some games.
Is it going to take a miracle from Bill Callahan to pull a rabbit out of a hat and make this line look good enough so Deshaun Watson can play well?
I think it's going to come down to not only Bill Callahan, it's going to come down to Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski has to have his best called game of the year. And I thought he had a really good game against the 49ers. The reason he's going to have a great game this game is because, look, you can't be in 5 wide when you got some of these guys who've never played before. You know what the Baltimore Ravens are going to do with some of the simulated pressures they're going to have.
They lead the NFL in sacks.
Guys are going to be up. They count on confusion. So what you need to happen is you need to be in 3rd and 2. You need to be in 2nd and 5.
Stay on schedule.
You need to be on schedule, and you need to be able to have run-pass options every single time you come up to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20, 2nd and 20, those are no-nos. We cannot have it, and I think Kevin Stefanski can't put his offensive line in an area where they're getting holding penalties, putting them behind schedule.
They're not doing 5 wide. I mean, first of all, they have barely any receivers.
Yeah.
Right? David Bell, we don't know. Did he practice today?
I did not see a status update
I don't think he practiced today. We know that Goodwin's in the concussion protocol, so he's probably not going to play.
And
so you really only have your 4th receiver, I think, this week is Prochet, who was the punt returner.
Right.
And you got a couple of guys on the practice squad who they might end up bringing up. But no, this game is going to be about quick passes to the backs and tight ends, I think. Get Amari Cooper involved a little bit and run the ball.
I agree with you. This is on Kevin Stefanski to scheme guys open, quick hitters. He can't stand back there 3 or 4 seconds.
Right.
He'll be running for his life all day. And speaking of Kevin Stefanski, we talked at the top of the show about this bizarre stat that's really, really difficult to explain. Stefanski is 19-7 after a loss. That means he's pulling it together. He's rallying the troops. After a win, he's 10-18. I can't explain it. Can you guys?
Up and down play. Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. Win one. That's the thing that the Cleveland Browns are going to have big tasks with the next 2 weeks. You got an AFC North opponent. You have a chance to go 6-3. Then you get the Pittsburgh Steelers back at home. These are the 2 pivotal games in the Browns season. We'll know, are you contenders or pretenders?
I mean, I think you look at the quarterbacks that have played for the Browns. Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson, Jacoby Brissett have played the majority of the games. They're all inconsistent quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson wasn't before he got here, but after not playing for a year and a half and dealing with injury, he's been inconsistent. Baker's always been an up-and-down player. And Jacoby Brissett, there was some inconsistency there. That's it.
Do you point to Stefanski for that? Because they've all 3 been inconsistent?
I guess. I mean, I would argue that Jacoby Brissett was even, was worse than that before he got here.
True.
And I don't really want to blame Stefanski for Watson. So I don't know. But, I mean, it's a weird stat. I think it's more of a coincidence than anything he's specifically doing. But it's hard to say.
See, I could call it a coincidence if it was, 6-1 after a loss and 2-5 after a win.
Yeah.
These numbers are big numbers.
Yeah.
It's a large sample size, and you know that the larger the sample size, the more you're going to get at what you really are. And your point is they're up, they're down, and they have never been consistently up.
The record after a loss is like one of the best in the sport.
Listen, 19-7?
Yeah, I mean, that's great.
That's phenomenal.
But
they can't parlay that into a 3-game win streak.
And win streaks are the fuel that pushes playoff movement. Like, you got to win 3-4. The teams that win 3-4 in a row, those are the playoff teams. Yeah. The guys that are winning, losing 2, win 1, it's too inconsistent for you to put some momentum together. And it's just, we look at this game, and it just so happens that you got the Baltimore Ravens once again looking up at you. It's a big-time opportunity for not only the coaching staff, but Deshaun Watson, too.
All right.